Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Rachel Reeves, she seems to be single-mindedly intent on destroying old people. Virtually everything she's done so far has targeted them. Sometimes just generally, sometimes it's deliberate and very acutely. But it seems every policy she comes up with is aimed to make make old people poor, miserable, impoverished. Maybe she's aiming to kill the old duffers off a bit quicker because, pensions are expensive. Much cheaper to have them die than pay them to live. I think that can be one of the only options. If there's another, do let me know. But I'm going to highlight some things that she's done and then ask the question. Because she has, since coming to power, she's raided the winter fuel payment, hasn't she? It was almost her first act as Chancellor was to scrap that £300 boost to keep pensioners warm and or alive. 10 million pensioners wiped, boom, gone. And their own figures, the government's own figures, knew that this would amount to thousands of deaths. So they knew in advance this would kill people. So it was a deliberate policy designed to kill. They knew it would. 2 million of those who lost it were under the poverty line. And the line that the government were pushing was, oh, well, you can always fill in the forms. And the forms were something like 53 pages long. It's outrageous, but I'm afraid that was just the start of her iniquitous attacks on the elderly of this country. She then went on to freeze tax thresholds. Now, while she didn't actually attack the triple lock, noises are being made about tackling the triple lock. But by failing to raise tax thresholds, it meant that this year's rise in pensions puts a lot of pensioners who live exactly on, only on the state pension, very close now to paying tax on their state pension. And I'm going to say now, and if you know, that there are going to be, and I know, and I'm going to tell you why in a moment, there are going to be pensioners out there who are paying tax already on their state pension. Back when women could retire at 60, if you're a woman who didn't retire at 60 and you decided, I'll go on, then what would happen is when you hit 61, your pension, your state pension, was increased by 10% because you had a year of not taking your pension. And if you went on another year, it went up by a further 10%. Now, after a few years of this, they realised how much this was and they changed it down to 5%, which is where it stands today. But at the time, one woman I know was working. She decided to carry on for 2 years because her husband was due to retire 2 years' time. So she said it was pointless both retiring and one of us being at home all day, etc. So she decided to work those 2 years. So she got a 10% increase on her pension, followed by another 10% increase on her pension. This now means that her state pension is now more than the tax allowance for the year. She's actually paying income tax on her state pension. Her state pension, it's still one of the lowest in the Western world, and she's paying tax on it. There we go. So Reeves, by freezing the allowances, is now moving pensioners who earn so very little into being taxpayers on that pension. That is weird, isn't it? Just weird. They reckon next year alone, over 700,000 pensioners will move into tax brackets for the pension. And the year after that, all of them will be in there and paying tax on their state pension. And that's not half of it. She went on and she's done more because she's moved the goalposts for inheritance tax. This, rather iniquitously again, I'm afraid, means that pensioners now, at this moment in time, they can pass on unused defined contribution pension pension pots to loved ones upon their death. There's no inheritance tax to pay. However, from the end of next year, that's not the case, and your unused pension pot will go in and be counted as part of your inheritance tax. So money that you have saved out of your earned income that you've saved deliberately to ensure you've got a slightly better old age, and that you can care for the ones you love, your partner, for example. Previously, you could leave that and your partner would get that, and that wouldn't be taxed as part of the inheritance. It could be taxed as part of income. So if it was over that partner's tax level, they get an income tax on it. Okay, now let's go fair enough on that. But the very essence of it existing is going to be, well, we're going to have some of that money anyway. A kind of little, a cash grab, really, at a time when people are suffering because some woman say, "Oh, I just lost her husband," or such, and the government are going to put their hand in on the not just on the stuff he's leaving, but on the actual pension. Here's the thing, and this is the weird thing: this only applies to the pension. So if the husband leaves everything to the wife, say, use that example, there's no inheritance tax on any of that because it's everything going to the spouse. However, the pension pot does get the money taken, regardless. Why is she hating pensioners? Right? Then the latest wheeze. She's looking to extract, and she's looking to do a Gordon Brown, she's looking to extract £40 billion out of company pensions. It's always pensions with her, isn't it? But she says, "Oh, the people of Britain won't mind. We have made such a major fuck up of the economy because I'm such a fucking retard that I need another 40 billion. Why? So I can give it to people abroad. I think that's the thing. So they're going to do a £40 billion cash grab out of company pensions. Unbelievable. Now, this is theft. This is money that you've put in, that your company's put in. It's not come from the government. And you're going to be paying tax on the income from it anyway. But she said, no, we can't wait for that. I need money to fuck away with now. I need to piss billions away now because I'm such a fucking retard. I can't deal with the economy. And look how much I need because all the rich people are leaving. But you can't take you can't take your pension pot out of the country. So that's what she's going to do. She's going to steal your pensions now. Never mind Maggie Thatcher, milk snatcher. Rachel Reeves, pension thieves, 40 billion out of your pension pots. I bet the 20% of the population who voted Labour are really happy. I think they're going, "Oh, I can't believe how great we are. Look what we've done. Isn't it brilliant? Aren't we now living in that little socialist paradise?" Ho hum. Do you think it's going to get worse? Do you think she's going to send round death squads next? It's the only thing that comes next after this. She obviously hates pensioners. So yeah, I think it's going to be send around the boys, let's duff a few up. Let's send them there. Will she be building little concentration camps for the elderly? Come along, dear, we're going to have a cup of tea. Yeah, and you go. Go sit in there in the nice room. Clunk. Drop down the Zyklon B. Unbelievable, these people, aren't they? But Rachel Reeves, beyond a joke. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Bye.